love to see Sasha and Orla back together again, both free and clear. But before that can happen, I have to prove Sasha's innocence. What? The ship's doctor and Azura were romantically involved.
Excuse me. Well, that's my theory, but I don't actually know if it's really true.
Azura would never get involved with that god-awful ship's doctor. But I do admit, they were friends. Would Azura send Dr. Crab videos? I wonder. Videos? What do you mean? Azura used to send her boyfriend videos of herself teaching orcas tricks. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. That's very big. That's important.
5 seconds in.
Used to help Azura take the videos on her TV phone. This is an interesting bit of information. So TV phones can shoot videos too, huh? My dumb phone sure can't. These TV phones are amazing. They can even record sounds you and I can't hear. Oh my gosh, she's giving us so much good information. Yes. All the equipment we use at Ship-Shape Aquarium is high-tech.
So you could dog whistle through the phone, technically.
Mm-hmm. Ship's doctor sends away all kinds of electronics. So all the high-tech stuff is Dr. Crab's doing, huh? Anyway, still highly trout Azura's boyfriend was a ship doctor. Dr. Crab found a charm yesterday, and he was really shaken by it.
It's gotta mean he's not the boyfriend, so it's like literally only a rifle or like some mystery guy.
He's gotta know.
Not rifle, not the penguin.
Rhyme.
Rhymes, there we go. She would date a penguin.
He's gotta know who it belongs to, though. Like, otherwise, why would he be so shaken? This charm looks just like your keepsake of Azura. Yeah, well, she did say she and her boyfriend had matching charms. Were the ship's doctor and Azura a really good couple? I can't believe it. I think Dr. Crab will be called as a witness today. There are still so many unanswered questions. But I hope to solve them all in today's trial. I believe in you too. I know you can do it.
And we will, Sasha, we promise. July 22nd, 9:30 a.m. District Court number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Sasha Buckler.
The defense is... Ah!
1 second in.
Ready. No, I'm completely thrown off.
Very good. It appears both the prosecution and the defense are ready. Yesterday, it was proven that the orca was not guilty and that the victim fell to his death. Prosecutor Blackwell, did your investigation of the orca pool turn up anything?
No. You think I would stand here if I found nothing? You incompetent boldness. I did. We found a blood stain from the victim at the bottom of the pool. On this.
Oh my, what a frightening looking rock. And you say it has a blood stain on it? Just looking at it gives me the willies. But can we assume there was no water in the pool at the time of the incident?
Very good. What a clever little deduction.
Oh ho! Well, it's nice to get a compliment from the prosecution for a change. Prosecutor Blackwell has completely tamed the judge with his carrot and stick approach.
I guess I should have brought a few carrots of my own. Right, moving along. I have prepared a witness. Buckler was the only one who entered that room when there was no water in the pool. The witness will prove that. Come to the stand, witness. Why that pause there? Name and occupation. Dr. Herman Peep. Sniper, stay in there.
And who is the cute little creature?
Such a restless bird, quite unlike Taka. Ka! Beep, beep, beep. Wow, chalk up one for Taka. He should sniper up with a single sound. Son of a gun, Dr. Herman Crab, Ship-Shape Aquarium's veterinarian.
And could you tell us the name of your cute little friend there as well?
Come on, Judge. Really? Is that necessary? It's fine.
He never gets to see penguins on the job. Your Honor, please focus on the case. But it's important to learn all we can about the witnesses.
What's this?
Let's entertain the judge.
Are we going to cross-examine a penguin then? Is that what you want?
Cross-examine a penguin. I mean, we still haven't even cross-examined the orca, so I mean...
There's a sniper. Beep, 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 beep. She's the offspring of a penguin named Raffle. Snapper lives in my hair. She might cause a commotion now and then, but please try to ignore her. I was originally going to call the animal keeper to the stand, but he refused to testify, so I settled on a veterinarian. Yeah, I think him refusing to testify is also highly sus as to why, just why. Like, if you want to help like prove her innocent, your best thing is there to come in here and like testify on her behalf.
Yeah.
Unless you're concerned it's going to point at you instead. Now tell us, why was the defendant in the orca pool when the water was drained? In early mornings of July 20th, Sasha was cleaning the orca pool. Sasha and Jack Shipley, the owner, were scheduled to do the cleaning together. During the cleaning, the pool water is drained. While the cleaning was going on, Marlon was taking care of the orca in the show pool. Pool water would never be drained unless the pool was being cleaned. Are you sure?
And your claim the victim was made to fall to his death during the cleaning.
Only Buckler and the owner that had the security card necessary to enter the orca pool room. And we already knew from the security company's records of the card usage that the defendant was in the orca room during the time of cleaning. See, my problem is Shipley never used his. How'd he get in there? The witness testimony and the record of security card usage are conclusive evidence.
So no one besides the defendant was at the scene and the water in the pool was drained.
Uh-oh. The judge already seems to be leaning toward the other side.
We have to strike fast. Your Honor, we're ready for a cross-examination now. Oh, yes, of course. Please proceed then.
Judge was about ready to hand down the verdict as I was doing a cross-examination. The power of use comes in handy at times like these. Hello, Poke Girl. Okay, so he's not saying anything about Jack being in there, but like, like that's my problem. Is like, he never scanned his card. But Miss Buckler said that Mr. Shipley never showed up to help with cleaning. I don't know anything about that. All I know is what was on the schedule. Maybe they changed plans. They probably felt awkward with each other after their fight. In any case, there's no proof the victim entered the pool room during the cleaning.
Objection!
If you don't stop your yammering, I will pull your tongue out and barbecue it. Why do you have to be so violent? Proof or none, the victim must have entered the pool room during cleaning. Witness, tell him why. Jack must have entered the Oracle pool room. The reason I think so is because... Yeah, it does. But what about Jack?
Hold it!
What about Jack? Don't you mean to say the record shows both their cards being used? No, only Sasha's. But they must have gone in together. Jack's body was found in the room, so it's the only logical explanation.
They went at the same time, is what he's saying.
Yep. We talked about this yesterday. What purpose does your brain of yours serve? Gah. You have more bird brain than Raffle.
Objection!
Witness, I will not allow birds to be belittled in my presence. Limit your despairing comments to the defense alone.
Birds over Phoenix, I guess.
I mean, Phoenix is a bird. A phoenix is a bird. So I get disparaged either way. Great. Bird lover, huh? Guess we're not destined to become friends. That is fine. All I needed for you is to talk about the state of the scene during cleaning. Alright, fine. I don't know. I think the two of them were made for each other.
Hold it!
So the cleaning is done with the pool drained of water? That's right. They use a hoist there to lower themselves to the bottom of the pool. They can do regular cleaning with water in the pool. But this was an intensive session. I never cleaned my own lab, however. Don't you think it might be due then? I guess I can't talk, though. Well, Sasha and Marlon come in and clean it for me on occasion. But I'm too busy myself. I have animals to look after, like this one, for example.
Such an adorable little creature lends cheer to its bleak courtroom.
Your reaction to Taka was very different, as I recall.
Oh, Taka's a fine bird too, of course. Please continue, Dr. Crab. Quickly now.
As I was saying, Sasha was cleaning the work pool.
Hold it!
So Orla was moved all the way over to the show pool? Why is that? Well, wouldn't do her get covered in cleaner, would it? Of course she was moved. You don't take a bath while you're cleaning the tub, do you?
Good point. I usually clean the tub after I take a bath myself.
I was assigned to clean the shower stalls yesterday. They were cleaner than an Edo bathhouse by the time I was done. Guess Prosecutor Blackwell is the fastidious type. I polished it so well, I bet the inmates are slipping and sliding all over it right now. Maybe he's not so much as fastidious type as a prankster type.
Somehow, I don't think that's it either.
Anyway, cleaning the orca pool is just like cleaning a tub.
Hold it!
I don't know if this is necessarily true. There's no possibility it would be drained at any time other than during cleaning? None. Ugh, shut down with a single word. Why are you so certain? Think about it. If the pool water were drained, what would happen to the orca?
The poor thing.
Whose side are you on, Athena? Exactly, young lady. Without water, Orla would be alright for a short period of time. But anything longer than that would pose serious risks. She could even die. So the fact that Orla is alive and well is proof the water wasn't drained on her? That's right. The orca pool and the show stage pool are next door to each other. The hoist runs between the two to move the orca and the equipment back and forth. When intensive cleaning is done, the orca is moved to the show stage pool first. So water is only drained when the pool is being cleaned. Here we go.
Please add that information to your testimony. But didn't it live a little bit? The orca could die.
Maybe the reason it has this well, it's not really a contradiction now. Because like maybe he doesn't have a sensor on the show pool. Maybe that's why it says Orla didn't eat anything. But I don't think that's a contradiction here.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the issue here. Well, these two kind of technically contradict each other as well. Or she had the sleeping pill given to her, but it technically should count as eating something. Or this.
Let's see that. Because it was like halfway open, right?
Yeah, because the way it is, there's still water in the pool even if you drain it.
Yep.
Objection!
There we go.
Hey, I got it. If the water in the orca pool is drained, you say, the orca could die. But is that necessarily true? What are you talking about? There's a way to let water out of the pool without harming the orca, isn't there? You know, please allow me to submit this photograph.
Oh! This is...
As you can see, there's no water around the Skull Rock area. With the pool in this state, the victim could have been made to fall to his death. However, there is water on the other side of the partition. The orca looks just fine. Son of a gun. In other words, if the partition is set up at the bottom of the pool, the water can be drained without doing Orla any harm.
Are you implying that the water could have been drained at the time other than during cleaning?
Yes, there is that possibility.
Dr. Crab is shaking. Looks like he has something to hide. Could it have something to do with the calendar note about the meeting with the victim?
It might. I'll submit it to the judge. Your Honor, please take a look at this calendar.
Ah, you waved that thing in court around yesterday. No need to drag out your souvenir today.
Actually, I would like you to make note of the entry on the day of the incident.
Let me see here. Meet the captain at the orca pool at 7 a.m. This note is about the meeting planned with the victim.
What? The defense would like to argue that at the time of that meeting, the pool may have been drained of its water.
Whose calendar is that?
It belongs to Dr. Herman Crab. Isn't that right, Dr. Crab? Son of a gun. So you suspect me, do you?
What does the meaning of this calendar entry? Dr. Crab, explain yourself.
Fine. I was supposed to meet Jack at the Orca pool at that time. But I ended up not going. So you're saying you simply broke your promise. You can't get out of it that easily. I believe you have some explaining to do.
Objection!
Your blade is sharper than I thought, right, Tono? But your cut was shallow, a mere surface scratch. There's a saying amongst prisoners. Do not see, hear nor speak to smooth-talking lawyers. You think the witness is suspicious? Show us proof. Ah, the calendar alone isn't good enough, huh? I have to prove the victim couldn't have fallen to his death at... I have to prove the victim could have fallen to his death at 7 a.m. meeting time.
Let's put our heads together, boss. The victim could have fallen during cleaning when the pool was completely drained. Or, using the partition, it could have been at 7 a.m. with the water partially drained. What would be the major difference in circumstance between these two possibilities?
What circumstance was different? The answer could really tell us something. What circumstance was difference between the two possibilities of cleaning at 7 a.m.?
The orca was there.
The orca was there. The pool being partially filled is also a thing. The time's different, but I think the most important is the orca.
The orca's presence could have a lot to do with it. Because in one, the orca's in the showroom, and the other, the orca's in the other half of the pool.
Murder occurred at a time other than during the cleaning. The orca must have been there.
Oh, you're right. And that would mean that Orla witnessed the murder.
What's this? You're sheathing your sword too soon. So soon.
It's also the time, but I mean...
Stop yammering to each other and show me how you wield your sword.
See, this is why you pick wrong dialogue sometimes. You get the best things.
Alright then. My sword, poised and ready. The murder was committed at the time other than during cleaning time. Orla must have been present at the scene. And I can prove that the murder happened right in front of Orla. Then, I can prove Miss Buckler is not guilty. And we can prove that.
Wow.
Sir, what do you mean, how?
Sorry, it just sounds unrealistic if you think about it.
What do you mean, how? There's blood on her. If she
True.
wasn't there, there wouldn't be blood on her.
Order. Order in the court, Mr. Wright. Are you implying that the orca was a witness to the crime?
Yeah.
Cross-examine the orca.
That's exactly what I'm implying. And how do you intend to prove the orca witnessed the murder? What are you going to do to put the orca on the stand and
Please, yes,
cross-examine her?
yes. Come on.
This is a crucial point. I better think about it carefully. The defense will...
Present evidence. I know.
It's gonna be this one kind. We just prove it's on her head. There's blood on
Yeah.
her head. The defense will present evidence that will prove Orla witnessed the murder.
You're going to present evidence? Knowing the defense, I thought surely you would try to cross-examine the orca. I must say I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to. This is Shiro's choice. I wanted to cross-examine the orca. Let it be known.
When the options popped up, you said present evidence first.
I know. But I deep down, I'm with the judge on this one. It's the first time I agree with him.
Geez, sorry to get your hopes up, Your Honor.
Very well, let's see what this evidence then. What evidence shows that the murder took place right in front of the orca?
Take that!
This photo indicates where we discovered luminol reactions yesterday. By accident, we got some of the luminol testing fluid on Orla. We were then very surprised to see luminol reactions on Orla's body.
Objection!
So what of it? There's nothing odd about that. As we discussed in yesterday's trials, the orca was bleeding. Traces of the orca's blood was also found on the skull rock. The orca must have injured herself when she rammed the rock. So the cloud of blood Mr. Plume saw was from Orla headbutting the skull rock, was it?
Oh, that's important.
So that means he didn't hit his head on the rock. Because if it's Orla's blood on it...
It's both their blood. Both of them.
Yeah, but it doesn't specify like whose blood it is specifically. I don't know. Those luminol reactions you saw in the orca most likely from her headbutting.
Objection!
Nope. But what's odd is the position of those bloodstains. Please take a good look at the photograph. Yesterday, Mr. Plume said the blood disappeared when Orla put on the hat. The testimony indicated that Orla's injuries were under her hat area. However, these luminol reactions are in two entirely separate areas from her injuries. These bloodstains can't be Orla's own blood, from where she was headbutting.
Then where did the blood come from?
It's my firm belief that it's the victim's blood. The victim was killed right in front of Orla. And the victim's blood splattered onto Orla's body. Gah! Now it finally all makes sense. Orla was a witness to the murder, so that's why. There's one more fact that indicates Orla was a witness to the murder.
There's more.
The culprit was afraid Orla could somehow reveal what she witnessed. And that's why they did what they did. It's the only thing that makes sense. The pill.
Yeah.
Have to present that evidence. Evidence that proves the culprit saw that Orla was a dangerous witness.
Take that!
The defense would like to submit this evidence.
What's this? It looks like some sort of medicine.
It's a sleeping drug, Your Honor. A very powerful one. The sleeping drug was discovered in Orla's stomach yesterday. The culprit tried to drown Orla by putting her into a deep sleep.
Tried to drown the orca, but why?
Right, Dono. Are you trying to tell this court that the perpetrator tried to kill the orca off to prevent a witness from talking? Do you really expect to defeat me with a feeble attack? My sword has been drawn. I'm not about to seize my evidence now. Orcas have an enormous potential for intelligence. The possibility that Orla could somehow manage to reveal the truth can't be denied. Culprit believed in this possibility, and that's why they tried to kill her. Dr. Herman Crab, you purchased this sleeping drug, didn't you?
What? Does this mean the veterinarian tried to do away with the orca?
I mean, it's likely. It's very likely.
I still can't see him pulling it out. You know what I mean? Because if he really wanted to do it, he would have just left it in there and then let the orca die then and there.
Who but a veterinarian would better know how to disguise an orca's death? Could even prevent the police from examining Orla's body. Why, you? You actually accusing me of trying to murder the orca? How dare you slander the noble profession of veterinarian?
Eek. My goodness, one could cut the tension in this courtroom with a knife.
He's kicking the stand. Yes, I admit to purchasing that sleeping drug. However, I was subsequently stolen from my lab.
That's such a flimsy excuse.
It's the truth. What else can I say? Any one of the crew members could have entered my lab. Guess that weakens my evidence quite a bit. Besides, think about it for a minute. Who was it that treated Orla after she swallowed the drug? It was I. But as I recall, it took you quite a while to give that treatment. You didn't even come on your own. We had to go get you. Son of a gun. You just remembered all sorts of little details, don't you, Mr. Lawyer? The orca pool and the lab were far apart. It's no wonder he didn't know the orca's condition.
Objection!
Not true, Blackwell. Didn't know? That's highly doubtful. As far apart as they are, Dr. Krebs still had a way to know all about the Orla's condition. Perhaps I would like to submit evidence that the witness knew about Orla's condition.
Take that!
The torpedo. Yeah, just had to bring that up, didn't you? With this advanced data system, surely you would have known Orla's condition.
Objection!
Wait just 1 minute. What is this torpedo?
Dr. Crab, how dare you bring a weapon of mass destruction into my courtroom?
The torpedo, or Tele-Observation Real-Time Pertinent Data Organizer, is a data system. Until yesterday, only Dr. Crab and Mr. Shipley knew about torpedo. It isn't legally approved in this country, so it's kept secret from the police.
It's illegal, Dr. Crab. I demand an explanation.
Sniper! It's like, you okay, Dad?
Oh, I just realized. That's so funny.
You okay, Dad? Dad, are you feeling alright? Yes, it's true. I'm using a legal system to monitor creatures at the aquarium. The system uses sensors and these... And yes, there's one in New York pool too. These sensors send sound waves through the water to gather data on the creatures. If it finds abnormalities in their condition, the torpedo alerts me with the sound.
Oh my goodness, how very high tech. But if it's illegal, I will not turn a blind eye. This matter will be appropriately dealt with at a separate time. Now then, Mr. Wright, please continue.
With the torpedo, I'm sure Dr. Crab noticed the danger Orla was in. But he made no attempt to come in and aid her to come to her aid on his own. And the reason for that is that Dr. Crab wanted Orla dead.
He also couldn't get in.
The torpedo didn't give me a warning message. That's why I didn't know there was anything wrong with Orla. Sensor in the Orla pool wasn't working during the police investigation.
Objection!
Can you prove that statement?
Objection!
He's gonna laugh and be like, right, Dono, you're supposed to prove it, not him. What's with him?
I guess this is also high tech for Prosecutor Blackwell that it's making him a little funny.
Funny? Yes, I found it all very funny. Witness, those sensors send sound waves through water, correct? But what if there isn't any water? Then they wouldn't work. They would automatically switch off. I see. And where is the sensor in the orca pool located? I don't know. Jack is the one who attached it for me.
In the photo?
Is it in here? You don't know? Then I will tell you. The police found a sensor just like the one you showed us. We found it attached to the table at the bottom of the pool.
Where's the table?
I'm assuming he means
The right table there, so it couldn't.
it's on the bottom side of that.
Yeah. He probably kept out of sight, right?
Table? You mean a table in this photograph? That's right. Don't you get it yet, right, Dono? The table on the side of the Skull Rock side of the partition is affixed to the bottom of the pool and can't be moved.
Oh, and so if the water was drained from the Skull Rock side of the pool...
Precisely. Without water, the torpedo sensor would just not work. Witness, when did the sensor automatically switch off? Hang on, I'll look it up. Only times lately were during cleaning 2 days ago and investigation yesterday. Of course I knew the pool would be drained while they were cleaning it. But I had no idea it would be drained for the investigation. No one let me know. That's why I didn't know about Orla's condition yesterday. So Dr. Crab really did want to save Orla? Do you hear that right, Dono? Yes, the water can drain without harm to the orca and the partition is used. But if the water is drained from the Skull Rock side, the sensor automatically turns off. The sensor was always on except for during the cleaning and investigation. It means there must have been water in the pool at the time. All times, it was never drained. In other words, no one but the defendant could have committed a crime. Ah!
Order in the court. This completely shatters the defense's argument.
But... The fact still remains that Orla was nearly killed with Dr. Crab's sleeping drug.
Objection!
But aren't you forgetting one important question? When was the sleeping drug given to the orca? Right, it hasn't been discussed yet, has it? The orca pool is the scene of the murder. The police was there all day yesterday. The only way to give the drug to the orca undetected is to put it in her food. And Rhyme was the one feeding her. Remember, he was tossing fish to her, and the fish came out with the pill too. Yesterday, someone gave the orca food during the trial.
Someone did. I'm afraid I don't remember that.
You don't remember? You're not that old yet, are you?
Oh, they both did.
They both did. That is true. She did feed her as well. It was a defendant, such a buckler. Ah!
So your argument is that Miss Buckler is the one who gave the orca the drug.
The prosecutor's argument hasn't changed. Buckler made the victim fall to his death, and then manipulated the orca to pin it on her. Still not satisfied, she further planned to kill the orca with the sleeping drug. Didn't hear any reports of Dr. Crab feeding Orla. Maybe he didn't have a hand in Orla's attempted murder after all. Was there anyone else who could have fed Orla besides Sasha?
If it's true the defendant is the one who fed the sleeping drug to the orca, then that places even more suspicion on her than ever.
Objection!
There's another one. The defense objects to the prosecution's claims. Well, you still haven't admitted defeat. Prosecutor Blackwell. I don't appreciate the way you only mention the parts that are convenient for you.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
The prosecution failed to mention that Miss Buckler wasn't the only one to feed Orla. As you all recall, there was another person who gave Orla food.
Oh, you mean that person?
Looks like Athena remembers now, too.
Oh, Mr. Wright. No.
I don't want to believe it either, but we can't ignore the truth. The other person who fed Orla during the trial was...
Definitely
Simon
rhymes.
Blackwell! It was you, Simon. You're the killer.
Fed her prison food, I guess.
Take that!
Please recall when Orla was found not guilty yesterday. Marlon Rhymes gave the orca a large quantity of food. If the sleeping drug was mixed in with that food, it could be given to the orca without arousing police suspicion.
Now that you mention it, I do remember the flip-flop for feeding the orca.
Objection!
So you remembered, did you? I see the time for a true sword fight has come. I call Marlon Rhymes to the stand. Mr. Lawyer, both Miss Orca Lover and Miss Marlon Rhymes are important crew members of ours. I don't want to suspect either of them, but I'm ready to accept whatever truth you find. Here, take this. That charm.
It's a charm that matches the one Azura Summers had, isn't it? So you and Miss Summers were romantically involved, weren't you, Dr. Crab?
What? No, of course not. Sorry to disappoint you, but this doesn't belong to me. At the time I thought this was Azura's, so I grabbed it. But it wasn't hers. Now it's up to you, Mr. Lawyer, to figure out whose charm it is. I will. Thank you, Dr. Crab. After all, I'm interested in the outcome of this trial, too.
Now then, please summon Marlon Rhymes to the witness stand. I'm ready to rap. Everybody, EpicMike16 ready to rap like I just don't give a crap. What's going on? What's everybody making that face for? I haven't been watching the trial and nobody's told me anything.
Good.
Marlon Rhymes, you're under suspicion for the attempted murder of the orca. I see. Well, if it's already out.
Is he just going to outright admit it? Mr. Rhymes, is he really going to admit it?
You and Phoenix were on the same wavelength there. Fine, I tell the truth. Oh, straight into it. Sasha's line to protect that orca. At 3:30 a.m. on the 20th, there was still water in the orca pool. The incident happened before the orca was moved to the show pool. Orla killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him slam into the water.
That doesn't fit.
So I thought the Orca should pay the consequences. Now we're back to the Orca again.
I did not see that testimony coming.
Now wait just 1 minute. Yesterday Orla was proven innocent. And Orla can't be charged for the same crime twice.
Mm-hmm. I have heard there are some cases where double jeopardy is null, but like in this case, like I don't think it would be overturned. I don't think double jeopardy would. I think double jeopardy would take effect if they tried to accuse Orla again here.
Besides, you said Orla was in the show pool during the cleaning. I didn't want to sell Sasha out. That's why I didn't tell the truth. But the fact is, all three of us, the captain, Sasha, and me, were cleaning the pool room.
That's not. Sasha didn't say you were there. That's bullcrap.
But Dr. Crab and Miss Buckler both said you were at the show stage. Well, the only thing Dr. Crab knew about the cleaning was what I told him.
Well, I already know. We already can disprove him saying he wasn't there. We got his handprint there.
Yep. I didn't give him a whole lot of details either. Maybe he misunderstood a word. And Sasha's line to protect the Orca, she can't tell the truth. Sasha put blood on the skull rock herself to make a fake blood stain. I think it's pretty brave of her to let herself get arrested to protect the Orca. Mr. Rhymes, how can you lie like that? It's the truth. Besides, who wouldn't it be better for you if I wasn't lying? If the Orca did it, you win your case. What? This is all very hard to believe. But if Mr. Rhymes' story is true, Miss Buckler would be innocent and the Orca would be the killer.
I mean, if we turned our backs on Orla, we could save Sasha. Having a witness lie to save your own client. What a dirty, underhanded tactic, right, don't know?
Objection!
Yesterday, the defense proved Orla was not guilty. We have no intention of going back on our assertions now.
What are you saying, Mr. Wright? All you gotta do is admit the Orca did it, and Sasha goes free. Isn't a lawyer supposed to act in his client's best interest?
But that wouldn't be acting in her interest. Miss Buckler believes Orla is innocent. And of course, we believe that Miss Buckler herself is innocent too. Acting in the client's best interest is an important part of our job as lawyers. Using dirty means to win a verdict would destroy our client's faith in us.
That's right. We believe in both Miss Buckler's and Orla's innocence. Huh. I don't just understand how you can treat a human and an Orca equally. Sasha or the Orca, you can only save one of them.
I don't know about that. I think I can save them both. Both. All I have to do is disprove your testimony.
Oh yeah? Then go ahead and try.
I will do just that. If I can't turn down his testimony, I won't be able to save both of them. I have to find a weak spot and start tearing. I already see a weak spot. I saw a weak spot immediately. Bastion's 30 feet high, him slamming into the water. He died from a 65-foot drop, sir.
Objection!
He died from a 65-foot drop. That doesn't work. When lies are piled on top of each other, contradictions start to emerge. This time is no different.
Are you saying there's some kind of inconsistency in my testimony?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You claim that the victim was sent flying about 30 feet into the air. The autopsy report shows that the apparent cause of death was to be from a 65-foot drop.
What?
Additionally, in your testimony a moment ago, you said at 3:30 a.m. on the 20th, there was still water in the Orca pool. With the pool being 65 feet deep, there's only 30 feet between the water and the ceiling. If the pool was full of water, as you claimed, it would be impossible for the victim to have fallen about 65 feet, as the autopsy states.
Ah!
Mr. Rhymes claimed he was in the Orca pool room so he could make these statements. The truth must be that he was at the show stage, just as Dr. Crab and Sasha testified.
I believe that brings us back to the Orca didn't do it.
I didn't believe the witness's testimony from the outset. I am grateful to you, Right Dono, for shutting the witness up. As I thought, the only person who could have killed the victim is Sasha Buckler. The fact still remains whether the witness was the one who tried to kill the Orca or not.
Donovan.
Mr. Rhymes was right about one thing. His testimony was advantageous to our case. Pointing out the contradiction in his statement will only drive us into a corner.
As Prosecutor Blackwell said, suspicion against Miss Buckler is now deepened.
But here's the thing, we could kind of twist this, be like, hey, you just said you were in the pool room. You technically either you were there. Hello, you could have done it. Uh-oh. But don't do something fast. That's just going to be found guilty.
Mr. Wright, isn't there anything we can do? There has to be a way to prove Sasha is innocent.
A time like this, the thing to do is to turn my thinking around. Instead of trying to prove that Sasha couldn't have done it, I have to think what made... I have to think about what made it possible for somebody else to have done it. As long as the crime scene is the Orca pool room, and Sasha is the only one who could have committed the crime. Oh, we gotta say it was the stage pool.
It's a stage pool.
It has to.
The only thing I'm not connecting with the stage pool is why his... I guess to say why his handprint is where it is. Right? Because my guess is that he was lifting him up.
Yeah,
right? And then
most likely. I think.
So, did he put the captain on the thing they used to transport the Orca and then hoist it?
Maybe. No need for pity or boldness. Just finish him off with a swift verdict.
It appears the defense has no objections. Very well, I give my verdict.
Your Honor, please hold off on that verdict.
Well, you're so quiet, Mr. Wright. You have something to say now.
The defense has a counter-argument.
You do?
Because what else we have to keep in mind is this was supposed to be on the show stage pool.
Yeah.
This wasn't supposed to be in the Orca pool. Like, why was it moved? Pitiful. Such desperation. You look pale. Are you sure you're prepared to make this counter-argument? The worst of times when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. I'll never forget those words, no matter how many years go by. Even though it's probably just a bluff, I'll give it to them with a smile. What if the scene of the crime was somewhere else?
The scene of the crime? Somewhere else.
What? You're finding fault with the police investigation now. As I understand it, the prosecution's argument is as follows. The scene of the crime was the orca pool room. Only the defendant and the victim entered that room when there was no water in the pool. Therefore, only the defendant could have committed the crime. That is correct. But if the scene of the crime was not the orca pool room, then somebody other than the defendant could have committed the crime.
Are you sure you know where you're going with this?
I might not be too sure, but I can't back down now.
Mr. Wright, I hope that I'm wrong, but this isn't one of your bluffs by any chance.
Definitely not a bluff. Of course not. The judge knows me too well.
And do you have a theory on where the actual scene of the crime was?
Yes, of course. Think Phoenix Sink. Think of a place other than the orca pool room where one could fall to one's death.
Then by all means, please share your theory with the court. Where was the real scene of the murder? Well, it's the orca pool room.
No, it's show pool.
Oh yeah, show pool, never mind.
Take that!
The show stage pool might have been drained of water at some point as well. And if so, it would be just as possible to fall to one's death there as the orca pool. Right, Dono. What you're doing is a disgrace to your profession. I sincerely hope you have some basis for what you're suggesting. Of course I do. I will as soon as I think of something. The victim's body was found in the orca pool. How do you explain that? It was moved. Duh.
Objection!
How about if after the victim was killed in the show stage pool, his body was moved to the orca pool?
How about if? What kind of presentation of your argument is that? You better have a reasonable explanation for how the body was moved.
There's no turning back now. I have to think of a way the body could have been moved. Was there something at the scene that could have been used to move the body? Come on!
Take that!
The hoist runs between the orca pool room and the show stage. The stretcher can be hung from the hoist to move things like Aura or the skull rock. The stretcher could also have been used to move the dead body.
Yes, if the stretcher can move the orca or the skull rock, it seems likely it could also move a dead body as well.
Wow, somehow that worked. I just might be able to pull this off. So Showpool was the scene of the crime. Somebody else could have done it.
Objection!
You desperately spew conjecture, and now you've made up a crime scene. Oh, there goes Jane. Ah!
Eek! Not again!
You don't have the soul of a warrior. You don't deserve to be on the battlefield. And even your fabrication is half-baked. It's a disgrace. What do you mean by half-baked? The hoist can be operated from the orca pool room only. That means they would have to make a bunch of trips if they did this solo. Actually, wait, that actually does... Actually, hold on. I think that is actually a problem, though. We don't have the planner. Because the ladder, at least in Orca Pool, doesn't go all the way down.
Yeah.
So that means if someone went, like if that's the same setup in the stage pool, someone would have to lift it up and down while someone is in the bottom. Unless you just climb the wire.
Feasible. I could see him doing that.
The only person who entered the Orca pool room was the defendant. So even if the body was moved, the only one who could have moved it was the defendant herself.
Or a penguin.
Ah!
Order. So it comes back to the defendant no matter which pool it was?
Meaning, you can't clear Sasha either way. Sasha said she moved Orla into Skull Rock. And I believed her. It could possibly be that she moved the body herself without being aware of it?
Mr. Wright, do you have an objection to Prosecutor Blackwell's claim?
Oh my.
Oh.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
He put the body in the Skull Rock, didn't he?
The body was in the Skull Rock. It was moved with both of them, and Sasha had no clue.
Oh, Lord. Hence the orca ramming its head.
I think we have to say no objections here. Because someone had to move it back. Someone had to be at the stage pool, and then someone else had to be the one moving it. Like, I think it's likely it's likely that. I have no objections. Miss Buckler must have been the one who moved the body. What?
Mr. Wright, are you admitting the defendant committed the murder?
No. I'm simply conceding that she was the only one who could have moved the body. However, I contend that Miss Buckler was not aware that is what she was doing. Colbert made her move it unbeknownst to her.
The defendant moved a dead body without recognizing that it was a dead body? How could that be possible?
The body was found in the Orca pool. It must have been moved there somewhere. Might find some kind of hint in the thing she moved with the stretcher. Colbert made Miss Buckler move the body along with this piece of evidence. Most likely the Skull Rock.
It has to be.
Because we don't have Orla as evidence. So like this is the only thing that was moved that it could be.
Take that!
It has to be that. The Skull Rock?
Miss Buckler told me yesterday that she moved the Skull Rock when she was cleaning. The only two things Miss Buckler moved to the Orca pool are Orla and the Skull Rock. I would like to suggest that the victim's body may have been inside the Skull Rock. Hidden inside the rock, the body could have been moved to the Orca pool with a hoist. At the show stage, Marlon Rhymes loaded up the Skull Rock with the body inside. And they used the walkie-talkie to let Miss Buckler know the rock was loaded. Miss Buckler operated the hoist from the Orca pool room and moved the stretcher. She moved the rock without knowing the body was inside.
You really think there's enough space inside the Skull Rock to place a body?
Swashbuckler Flyer indicates it could be possible. Please focus on the question at the bottom left.
Oh, it says, who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the Skull Rock? In that case, I suppose the rock is most likely hollow.
What's more, the body was inside the Skull Rock. It explains the remaining unanswered questions.
Such as...
Please take a look at the security camera footage of the scene that Mr. Plume witnessed. Where did the body that Mr. Plume saw come from? Please recall. What was Orla doing to the skull rock at the time? She was headbutting.
Oh!
That's right. Orla's ramming released the body from the skull rock. The body had been placed inside the skull rock and moved there from the show stage. I searched that the real murder scene was in fact the show stage pool.
Silence!
What rubbish is this now? You don't have a single scrap of evidence.
Objection!
It's easy enough to verify what I say. Take a look inside the skull rock for yourself. You should find some kind of proof that the body was there. Blood fibers, hair. Gah! Right, Donna.
Mr. Wright, that was incredible. You turned things completely around.
Happy lurk, Sonic.
Happy lurk. And to think it all started with that half-baked bluff, too.
Cena.
She has to know he was bluffing, like,
That was a close
emotions
one.
and everything.
Did you really have to add that last bit?
The murder took place at the show stage. Then who was the perpetrator?
It is, naturally, the person who was at the show stage. Mr. Rhymes. Weren't you the one who loaded the skull rock onto the stretcher at the show stage?
Ooh, get ready for some raps. Get ready for some raps. Wow, Mr. Wright. That was some pretty smart brain work you did there. To be honest, I never thought you could figure it out. I tried to protect myself, but I guess it came back to bite. Is that an admission of guilt?
No, there's something more here. Something's off.
Are you confessing you gave false testimony before Mr. Rhymes? That's perjury.
Welcome to now, Judge. We've already proven he committed perjury.
Yeah, what Mr. Wright says is true. The body was inside the skull rock. And it's true that the captain was killed in the show pool, too. The dolphin did it, didn't he?
Is he gonna try to turn this around again?
He's gonna blame it on the dolphin.
Dolphin? It's a whale.
Orla the orca dolphin.
Whale.
Dolphin whale.
He really made it that easily?
This time I gotta tell you the whole truth about what happened that day.